unemployment choo-choo. It's the unemployment choo-choo. Jeff, another edition of the Chew. Chugging along. I can't emanate...
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know. I can't emanate the positivity. It's like we said we were running out of coal 2 weeks ago.
You sounded like you just sat on the toilet for like an hour and you couldn't get anything to happen.
Yes. It's you know what? You're right. I do. I feel like Elvis Presley. You know?
Yeah,
I feel like it. And for those of you who don't know, what happened? He had 4-month-old poo. What happened?
Yeah, somebody is coming out with a story saying that they saw his actual autopsy because he would have been 86, saw his actual autopsy. And I guess he suffered from extreme constipation, and there was stool backed up. They said 4 months worth of stool backed up in him, so couldn't get it going there.
Wow. Well, you know what? That is exactly how I feel, and I'm going to try to stay positive. Well, you know what though? Now that I think about it, do you think that maybe his greasy food habits contributed to his lack of ability to poop?
Don't you think that would assist in the situation?
Well, grease, usually when you grease something up, it usually gets slippery. So I figured if you're greasing up your colon, wouldn't it slide out?
You would think. I mean, and to think that think about it. He died on the toilet, right?
He did.
So maybe it's a situation where he just couldn't get something out. I would think that if he was,
maybe he was
on.
Right.
Bacon cheese.
Right.
It would help the cause.
Well, but see, that's what I'm saying. If he's sitting on the toilet and he's pushing really hard, he has a heart attack or a coronary. But you would think that if you have a lot of grease in the colon, like what do you say? Like, when you have like a baby stuck inside of like a furnace or something, what do you say? Crisco the baby.
Yeah, do you?
Yes. You've never Crisco'd the baby?
No, I never had that conversation with anybody. No, Crisco, baby.
Oh,
no, but he was only 42.
Well, yeah. Here's what I think when we're talking Crisco the baby. I have a cousin Alex. He's significantly younger than me, and I remember Alex got stuck in between the deck and the steps when he was a kid, when he was a wee little guy. And I remember there was no question. My mom and my Aunt Amy went right for the Crisco butter, and they greased him up, and they slid him right through. So my thing is, you got grease, you slide a baby, or a person, doesn't have to be a baby, but a baby, it's easier. How do you not grease up your colon and have the same effect?
Okay, well, look, they said his chronic constipation resulted of years of high-fat, high-cholesterol gorging.
So he was a gorger.
The strain of attempting to defecate compressed his abdominal aorta, shutting down his heart.
So he was pushing so hard that it literally shut his heart down.
It shut his heart down. So he is screaming, clenching, going, pushing, open. I mean, we had a friend who kind of had that issue, and, he liked to leave his enemas all over the living room floor and stuff.
You know what's really funny? I was actually at the dollar store, and I saw dollar store enemas, and it literally made me think of him. But that's the point. You're telling me Elvis couldn't do an enema? He was Elvis friggin' Presley.
You would think of all the money that he has, that he could find somebody to shove things up his anus.
You know what? I bet you people would have shoved stuff up his ass for free.
Yep. I would have probably.
I would too. Somebody says the king wants you to shove something up his ass. Now, I don't know if you're a fan of South Park, but there was an episode of South Park where Butters, he was fooled by Eric Cartman. It's called Awesemo. And I remember Butters had to take a suppository, and Awesemo, a.k.a. Eric Cartman, had to slide the suppository up his butt. And I distinctly remember the discussion that they had and how when you just give it a little slide, everything, opens up inside.
Now, have you ever done a rectal suppository?
You know what's really funny? I've been thinking about this a lot lately. If I've ever been, a rectal suppository and or an enema kind of guy, I have not. But you know what I have done? I've done a bidet clean.
Okay. I've done the rectal suppository to help ease the stomach when sick before.
So wait, why would you go rectal suppository for sickness? Is it because you were having trouble like Elvis?
Yeah, I don't remember why I was prescribed it. or why.
Oh, you were prescribed the rectal suppository.
I think that if there was explosive diarrhea, it kind of stopped it. I think that's what it did. I think it helped it.
So basically, the suppository plugged you up
and calmed the stomach. Yes, absolutely.
Now, do you remember how it worked? I mean, were you a fan? Did it help? Did it hurt? Did you feel anything, or was it just kind of?
I'll tell you what. It's quite Vaseline.
Okay.
So you get back there. It's got a point kind of at the end.
Like a little rocket ship. It looks like a little rocket ship.
And once you get it in, you're in. You're good to go.
Okay.
It's really nothing that would really freak you out.
So, and let me ask you, I mean, is this something that, you would recommend? So, for example, if the king said, well, hey, Jeff, I'm having a little problem pooping. You think I should get a rectal suppository? Would you give him that story, or would you not think it'd be appropriate to talk to the king of rock and roll about rectal suppositories?
I'd say split your cheeks, EP. I got you over there.
Whoa, split the cheeks, EP?
I said I got you.
Whoa. All right, Bamos. All right. All right, Jeff. So you've split Elvis's cheeks.
Obviously.
Yeah. All right. He is, unfortunately no longer with us, but maybe if you were around during the 1970s, maybe you could have helped them. Maybe you could have saved them.
Yeah, Priscilla could have held the cheeks open for me, and I could have done it. It could have been a team effort.
Well, here's the thing. You don't think maybe I heard Priscilla was into the butt stuff.
Oh, yeah, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the talk?
Lisa Marie, definitely into butt stuff, obviously being married to Michael Jackson. So you have to deduce you're married to Michael Jackson, you're into butt stuff, right?
I'm sure she's seen it. She's seen a lot of things.
Seen a lot of things. So, and how do you get into butt stuff? It's a genetic thing. So, obviously, you're married to Michael Jackson, your name's Lisa Marie, you like the butt stuff. That means your mom likes the butt stuff. That means your dad likes the butt stuff. That means
it's hereditary.
Butt stuff's hereditary.
It's passed down from generation to generation.
The butt stuff. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
And so that just stands to reason. Maybe Priscilla killed him. Maybe she wanted that money. Because don't tell me she was afraid of the butt stuff.
Well, look, she oversaw or oversees everything that, happens in that down there in Memphis.
Yeah, she certainly does, doesn't she? She oversees that bank account. She oversees Graceland. She couldn't keep the king alive. She couldn't do a little bit of butt stuff to save his life.
But then, then you say, then the daughter decides, she wants to mosey on over to the Michael.
Yeah, and by the way, Michael loves the butt stuff.
Of course he does.
Okay.
Of course he does. And you know that she had to know going in. And maybe that's why she was attracted to him to begin with.
Because they both like the butt stuff?
Of course.
Okay.
That, he's Suppository Sam.
Just Suppository. And she's what? Suppository Samantha?
Right. So,
okay.
Heading into the situation, that was probably on their first date. When she went over to Neverland, hopped on the trolley, came on in.
And you think maybe
that he was sitting there, presenting.
So do you think he was on the train and he was like, Lisa, do you like butt stuff? And she was like, I love butt stuff. And then they got married?
Right. And
now, do you think I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but do you think the reason that him and Debbie Rowe didn't work out is because Debbie Rowe doesn't seem to be somebody who likes the butt stuff?
Well, you've seen Debbie, right?
Mm-hmm. I've seen her.
I think, yeah.
She's a Debbie. She looks like a Debbie.
She certainly looks like a Debbie.
Yep.
But I think that she could possibly have a Valanche situation there. So, being Debbie and having Valanche ass, immediately.
Okay.
You're not somebody that, if you're not somebody that keeps up back there, you're disgusted by other people's, back door.
So you think she may have been into the butt stuff, but because of the Debbie Rowe butt, a.k.a. the Valanche butt, you're saying that...
If Debbie's into it...
Okay.
And Michael's into it,
mm-hmm.
and Debbie's not, so Debbie takes care of Michael when it comes to that.
Okay.
And if Michael wants to reciprocate, Debbie, you don't want to get into Debbie downstairs. You don't want Debbie downstairs.
So you're telling me you think that Debbie downstairs could have been a contributing factor to the reason that Michael dumped Debbie?
I think that it could have been that, and I think it really started as downslide. Yeah.
Now,
and I think he acted out a lot more in butt stuff situations because he spent those years with Debbie trying to, have the kids and whatever they were doing. And I think he was focused on that and didn't get a chance to enjoy what he's into.
So then if one of your parents is into butt stuff, the other parent's not. So let's say Michael's into butt stuff, Debbie Rowe is not into butt stuff. Does Paris Blanket and Michael, are they into butt stuff? How does that work?
I wouldn't say that Paris is into it, but I think that if the situation arose, I think she's picky when it comes to her butt stuff. She seems like that.
Okay.
Blanket is all.
I was just about to say Blanket's got to be butt stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he likes to be called butt stuff.
Yeah.
He's so into it.
Right. Please call me butt stuff.
Right. He walks into the Applebee's bar, right? And he's just rolled in. Everybody goes, butt stuff!
Yeah, what up, butt stuff?
Yeah, and he's the guy that hangs at the chain restaurant bars.
You think so?
Applebee's, Chili's, yeah.
Now, wait, does he hang at the chain restaurants or does he hang at fast food establishments?
No, I don't think he's as much as fast food. I think he's a step up from that.
See, I disagree. I see Blanket hanging out at the Colonel.
Really?
I do. I see him hanging out at the Colonel. I do. I see Blanket.
What does he get?
What does he get?
Does he get a two-piece and a biscuit? What's he get?
Excuse me. First off, he gets the high dollar items. He gets to fill up. He's Michael Jackson's kid.
So he's honking on a whole $20 fill up by himself?
By himself. He eats half, and then the other half he does butt stuff with. Come on, Jeff. You're smarter than this. You know this.
He's butt stuff in a breast?
He's butt stuff. Well, see, no. You know what? I don't think he's butt. I think he's butt stuff in a wing. He might even butt stuff a leg, but you can't butt stuff a breast. A breast is too lopsided.
Well, it depends on how you angle it. Some of them are cut differently. So you're saying what he does is he gets it ready with the slaw, slops it up with the mash, and then heads in with the wing there.
So what? Well, okay.
A drum.
It sounds to me like you're making a joke out of something that's serious. Are you telling me that you don't see him at the Colonel?
I don't see him at the Colonel. I don't see the Colonel.
You're wrong, but see,
I don't think he's going through a whole bucket. I don't think he's doing a bucket of butt stuff.
You don't think he's doing a bucket of butt stuff with the Colonel?
I don't see a bucket of butt stuff.
You know what? He would be the only one. Because, and this is why I see him at the Colonel. I was just reading something, Jeff, where KFC was the most popular, chicken establishments, but KFC in particular, was the most popular fast food item during this pandemic. So if you're telling me that Blanket isn't at the KFC doing bucket butt stuff, I disagree with you because Blanket, he wants to be part of the crowd.
You don't see him doing a beef and cheddar butt stuff at Arby's?
No, come on. A beef and cheddar butt stuff. First off, it's messy. Second off, it's squishy. How are you going to get a beef and cheddar up there?
Well, have you ever attempted a beef and cheddar?
You know what? I haven't, but I can honestly tell you it'd be a lot easier to get a wing up there than it would to get a beef and cheddar. What would you'd have to package the beef and cheddar? You couldn't just stick a beef and cheddar up there. The bread would fall apart.
You know what? That's probably all you could probably do up there if you tried, because then they do those Arby's fresh market sandwiches and stuff. I don't think you're doing an Arby's Reuben.
Well, whoa, no, not the Reuben. No, it's too spicy. And then you know how when you eat spicy, it hurts coming out sometimes.
Right.
It would hurt going in.
Yeah, I don't think you want that to happen. Yeah, as you start to break it down when it comes to fast food, I mean, there's really not much more that you could really get up there. I mean, could you you can't work a Big Mac.
No.
And he's somebody that I think that he
could you do a pizza? You couldn't do a pizza unless you either did a crust or you took the pizza, rolled it up into a log, and then sat on it. You couldn't do a slice.
See, what I get it with the KFC that he could munch it down a little bit, enjoy it in both ends.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. He could take, he could eat the skin, right? Because the skin's the best part of the chicken, and then he could, butt stuff with the rest.
Yeah, and then he could get kind of crazy with it when they say, "Do you just want drumsticks? Do you just want breasts?" He can say, "You know what? Surprise me! Mix it up in the whole bucket there."
That's right. That's right.
And then you got the bucket, which is your trash can, which you can throw everything back out. So the big bucket they give you, it's pretty damn convenient at the end of the day.
It is. You could do all butt stuff, and all you need is a bucket and some chicken. Double Vaseline maybe. And if you're really a pro, you don't even need it. Hold the Vaseline.